G'day guys, and welcome to part 2 of my new Skyrim SE build. So we are still in Riverwood. We haven't got very far just yet. What I thought I'd do was actually mod the towns and cities as we come across them, and because I was in Riverwood and it was looking very much like vanilla Skyrim, I decided to mod Riverwood out first before continuing on our journey. So as you can see, it looks quite a bit different to how it looked in the last video. So I've actually installed about 26 mods to get it looking like this. Obviously they're not all based on just Riverwood. There's quite a few mods that affect the entire game, a few texture packs, and I found a couple more magic mods which I wanted to use as well. So what we'll be doing is actually going through those shortly. I'll just show you what I've added to the mod list. But before we do that, I'll just have a quick wander around Riverwood here and just show you how it looks and how much better it looks from the last video, in my opinion anyway. So you can see the water's changed. Obviously I've got a water mod running, and I'll run through that with you shortly. This is all new through here. All these aspens obviously are added by a particular mod as well. All the trees, you guys can probably guess which of the main tree mods I've gone with just by the look of them. See how you go when we get to the mod lists. Okay, we've got a wolf up there. I might just see if we can sort him out quickly. Yeah, all these textures, obviously from one of the major texture packs. These rocks here on the side of the river are actually one of my favourite textures. I love them. They look pretty photorealistic. Also, this dirt cliff is my favourite texture as well, from the same mod. Okay, made short work of him. Cooked wolf. Alright, so let's just head back through Riverwood one last time, and then we'll jump out of game and quickly go through the mods that I've added. There's another texture mod there for the hanging moss. Obviously the wood texture as well on the farmhouses, that's all changed.
They don't have to be perfect. Just send them over when they're ready.
Even the fences, that is a particular mod as well, because you may or may not know the vanilla fences, when they're off in the distance they flicker quite badly, and this particular fence mod is a lot better. It reduces that to a minimum, so it's not so annoying. And I've actually only got 2 Riverwood mods which actually change the layout and the set out of Riverwood. Just looking at it, you'd probably think there are a lot more, but the others are all texture mods basically. So there's only 2 overhauls, overhaul mods running, which change Riverwood to what you see there. And yeah, quite a big change really. Adds quite a lot. There's 2 mods. I like it. So the plan is we'll very shortly go through the mods that I've added, the 26 new mods, and I've just got a little bit to talk about with a couple of those as well, because I have had to do a couple of extra little steps. And after that we are going to continue our journey. You may remember we were trying to get to the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry because we want to build our character and make her really badass, so that's still the plan. So I'm thinking we'll probably make it to Whiterun after we've gone through the mod list, and then that would be the next one on the list to mod out as well. And then we'll be heading across the plains. So, let's just jump out of game briefly and we'll go through that list now. Okay, so let's have a look at the mod list as it stands at the moment. So I think last episode we got up to the weather mods, True Storms, Obsidian Weathers, and also the patch for both of those. So the new mods start from there, 26 as I mentioned. So I mentioned that I found a couple of magic mods which I like the sound of. The first one of those is Lights On AIO, so that's actually the version for where is it? Apocalypse, and also Ordinator. And basically what that does is when you've got a spell ready to go, it will actually light up the surrounding area, so it works a bit like a torch, which I thought would be pretty handy. It'll actually save me having to carry a torch around in, for example, dark dungeons. If I've got spells equipped, they'll actually work as my light source. So yeah, that's the first one. The next one is Wards Functionalities Extended, and also there was a patch for that one for having Ordinator. So I've got the patch for the Wards Functionalities Extended as well. And basically that just improves on the wards. It makes them act a little bit like a shield, so you can actually block some incoming attacks with them. If you've got your ward working at the time, you can also block arrows, things like that. I thought that might be handy as well. And the next one is quite a big one, and possibly one of the most important as far as I'm concerned. That is Noble Skyrim, and you probably all know about it, but if you don't, you can't actually find it for Special Edition on the Nexus. You actually have to find it through the normal Skyrim game, and once you go into the files there, you will actually see the version for the Skyrim Special Edition. And yeah, it has a lot of textures. I think they're all about 2K in size, so they're pretty decent looking textures, and there's 2.4 gigabytes of them, so just be warned, it's a huge download, but well worth it. I think it's a really good texture replacer mod to have in the background, sort of as a base to get started, and then you can use more specific texture mods to just change like individual items, which will override that. So yeah, a really good base texture mod. And we also have the SMIM patch, because we do have SMIM installed, and that's also on the same page. And then I went with something new. I haven't tried this before, but I was really impressed with the textures. I really do like the look of most of them. So I've gone with Skyrim Realistic Overhaul. Now you won't actually find that mod on the Nexus. It is actually on moddb.com, and it's in 4 parts. So part 1, part 2 and part 3 are the actual textures, and then the 4th part is actually pretty important. It allows you to use the mod for Skyrim SE, so without that it'll only run in the normal Skyrim game. And yeah, they're actually pretty big files as well, but again, I think well worth it. And I think the size of those individual textures range from 2K to 4K, so yeah, really good resolution on those as well. And I'm pretty sure all up it was around 10 gigabytes, so it's pretty massive. Yeah, you may not want to use that. A good alternative, I think, to both of the texture replacer mods I've mentioned so far is actually Skyland 2K. If I wasn't going with either of these, I'd definitely be going Skyland 2K. That has some really good, really realistic looking textures. So I definitely recommend that if you want to keep it a little light. That download's only 1 gig, so not too bad. And the textures still look top notch. They're all 2K, so yeah, I would recommend that. Next one is Immersive Laundry. I just love that mod. It adds so much immersion. No more to say on that. Next one, Fences of Skyrim. Like I mentioned in game, I just wanted to get rid of the flickering fences, and I do like the look of this mod, and I actually went with the weathered edition, which is 2K. And next one is LH's Realistic Hanging Mosses. I also mentioned that in game, and I went with the darker green version. I noticed the normal version is quite yellow and fairly bright, a little bright for my game, and yeah, I didn't like that, so the darker green option suited my game a lot better, so I've gone with that one. And I've also gone with the LH's Mosses DLC 2 add-on as well. And next on the list is Better Farmhouse Wood. I've checked all the mods that change the farmhouse wood, and I went back and forth on them quite a lot, and I have settled on Better Farmhouse Wood. I just like the textures. They look quite realistic, and I like the colour, and I also like the darkness of the wood. It's just a personal preference thing. You guys may have your own favourite or something else you want to try. By all means, go for it. And I should mention too, just the order of these mods. Obviously, the further down you go, those mods are going to override anything above them. So I do have them in a specific order. For example, the LH's Realistic Hanging Mosses, you can see here, is, what's it overriding? It's overriding Skyrim Realistic Overhaul Part 2 of that mod. So obviously there was a moss texture in there, which is now being overridden, etc., etc. So after the farmhouse wood, we have the 3D door. That just changes all the wooden doors on the farmhouses as well. Makes them look a little flasher. And yeah, I really like that mod, so that's why that's there. And now we get on to the water mods. So I've gone with Realistic Water 2. I always go with Realistic Water 2. I think it's the best water mod there is, bar none. So yeah, easy decision for me. But you may have a different favourite, so feel free to try the others if that's what you want. So I've also gone with the Realistic Water 2 Lod Fix to try and fix up those distant lods a little bit. And overriding Realistic Water 2 is Whitewater HD. It's a fairly new mod. It does replace the textures. It works with Realistic Water 2 and also just vanilla water. And yeah, the whitewater textures are really nice. They look quite realistic. I think they're the best looking. Hence, I have it in my list. Okay, next one is another big one. Not in size with regards to the download, but it changes a lot. And that is JK's Skyrim All-in-One. It's the first time I've actually used the All-in-One file. I usually just pick and choose which towns and cities I want to be JK's. But this time I thought I'll go all-in-one, change everything up, and just see how things look. And there was also a Realistic Water 2 patch in with those files as well, which obviously I needed to download because I have Realistic Water 2. So that's there. And the next one is Skyrim Riverwood 1.5, and I chose the file without leaf rest. This is basically an add-on to JK's Riverwood, which is obviously included in JK's Skyrim All-in-One. So yeah, I just wanted to try this add-on and see how it changed up Riverwood. I did like the changes and the added features and buildings and things, so yep, that's why I went with Skyrim. Next on the list is my tree mods. Again, I spent hours playing with all the different tree mods, trying to come up with something that I was happy with. and I'm actually quite happy with the result. I've gone with immersive fallen trees. Obviously that just adds a lot to the game. Trees laying over canyons and crevices and stuff. I love that. Just adds a lot of immersion for me. Next is Fantasy Forest Overhaul. I've got a little bit to say on this one. You won't actually find it on the Nexus. It was taken down by the author, and the reason given was that it didn't. The author didn't think it looked right in the special edition version. It obviously, didn't look as good as in the normal Skyrim game, and they weren't happy with it, so they pulled it from the Nexus. But you can actually get it online through a Lover's Lab. I'm sure you've all heard of it. Just be aware that is an adults only site, so don't go there if you're not supposed to be. So that's where you'll get the download for Fantasy Forest Overhaul. And when I did plug it in and have a look, I did notice a lot of the aspens were really bright in game, like really bright fluoro green, for example. Just way too bright for my liking. So what I actually had to do was go into the textures of that mod and darken them up a bit. And I can just show you quickly the steps I take to do that. So we'll just shrink this one down. Alrighty, so using Mod Organizer, you need to know where Mod Organizer is actually installed. For me, it's in the S drive, Mod Organizer 2.1.2, there it is. So you need to click on the mods folder, and that will show you all the mods that you have installed. They may not be activated, but just anything that is installed will show up here. And we need to go to... Oh, too far. I've got a lot here, like probably 360, 370 mods now. Because obviously I've got that ultra modded Skyrim profile as well. And that's 330 mods right there, so they all show up in this list. Where are we? Okay, Fantasy Forest Overhaul. So you click on that, and then you need to go into the textures folder, and then you basically just need to go through each of the folders and check all the images and just see if they look too bright. If they look too bright here, they're going to look definitely too bright in game. That's what I found, and that's what I've found in the past. Terrain, I don't think there was any in terrain. Tamariel Tree Lod, I actually darkened that entire image. That just has like a picture of the distant lod for each tree, and they were a little bright, so I did darken those by about 50. And I should mention too, I use GIMP to darken all my textures. We'll actually find an example, and I'll just quickly show you what I have to do. They were all good. Okay, there's some trees here, so I'll have a look at those. No, it's just bark. The bark was fine. It was mainly just the tops of the trees, all the leaves, and the top branches. Alright, so all these ones here with the GIMP logo, I've actually darkened the textures of, because I found them too bright. Now these ones here were fine, the browns and the burnt colours, they were dark enough. I'll just open one up quickly. I always untick load maps when I open up a texture. Alright, so as you can see, that's quite dark. So yeah, there was actually absolutely no requirement to darken that any further. So I left all those alone. And I'll just show you one that was too bright, which I've already darkened, this green one here. Alright, so that's actually been darkened by 100. So if you can imagine that being quite a bit brighter, it was basically fluoro green. So what you need to do when you bring up a texture like this and it's too bright, just go into colours, brightness and contrast. Now I actually have some presets made, but you can just use this brightness slider, and obviously dragging it to the left, negative 102 there is obviously darkening it, positives is brightening it, and that looks really bad. But I just go into preset because I've already made some, and I go minus 100 dark pretty much straight away if it's really bright. If I think it only needs darkening a little bit, then I'll just go minus 50, and that's usually enough. And then once you've done that, I've actually darkened it by minus 1, so I have actually changed it, so I'll just save this one. So you click OK, and then you go File, Export As. Now you leave the name exactly as it's shown because we want it to actually replace the file. So we just click Export. It'll say this file already exists in trees. Replacing it will overwrite its contents. That's exactly what we want to do, so click Replace. And it will also give you this little option before you do so. All we need to do here is mip maps, because remember we didn't load any mip maps up. We do need mip maps, so when we're at a distance from the tree, it will still look okay, basically. So click on No Mip Maps and change that to Generate Mip Maps. Because we've done that, we now need to go into Advanced Options. And with regards to filter, I choose Kaiser. I think it's the best. And wrap mode, I always choose clamp. And then just click OK. So that's now saving that image and also creating the mip maps for it. Once that box disappears, it's done, and it has already replaced the image over here. So it's now been darkened, and that's all you need to do for each and every file you find too bright. When you close it down, it'll ask if you want to save changes. You don't need to worry about this because the file's already been replaced. So I just click Discard Changes and close it up. Alright, so if you want to darken any textures on your trees or anything, you just need to go through, find where first of all the mod is installed or saved, I should say. Then you need to go into the actual textures, find the specific texture you want, open it up in GIMP, and then just go through the process I showed you to darken it up and resave it, and that will darken the texture up in game. And yeah, it does make a huge difference. Alright, so I think that's enough on Fantasy Forest Overhaul. So the next one was Skyrim 3D Trees and Plants. Obviously that does override a couple of things in Fantasy Forest Overhaul. I think mainly a couple of plants, which I'm happy with, I'm fine with. I think that Skyrim 3D Trees and Plants is an amazing mod. It's probably the most realistic looking setup I've seen so far, and I've been wanting to try it out for a long time now, so I'm really happy to have it in my mod list. And also as part of that mod, I downloaded Skyrim 3D Gilder Green, which you may know is the tree right in the middle of Whiterun. And obviously I haven't been to Whiterun yet in this playthrough, so I don't actually know how that's going to look. If I'm happy with it, obviously I'll leave that part of the mod. If not, then I'll just uninstall it. And finally we have the HD photorealistic ivy. I think that's the best looking ivy mod that you can actually get at the moment, so I always go that. And as you can see, it's overriding Skyrim 3D Trees and Plants, because obviously they had a version of the ivy with that as well, so that's been overridden. And also right back up here, Noble Skyrim is being overridden as well, so obviously there's a ivy texture in that pack as well. And that's the one we want, HD photorealistic ivy, hence it's right down near the bottom. Okay, I think that's about it for the mod list. Actually no, there was one more thing. Remember I pointed out the dirt cliffs when we were in game? Those dirt cliff textures are actually from Noble Skyrim 2K, and there is also the same texture, but I don't like it as much, in Skyrim Realistic Overhaul Part 2. And because I've got my Skyrim Realistic Overhaul sitting lower than Noble Skyrim, my favourite texture is being overridden. So in order to fix that, all we need to do is go into this Skyrim Realistic Overhaul Part 2 mod and find that texture for Dirt Cliffs and just delete it. And then that means when the game loads up and starts running, the first texture that will replace the vanilla files is actually Noble Skyrim, and it won't be overridden by anything. So just to show you as an example, I did go and plug that folder, Dirt Cliffs folder, back into SRO. So we'll just quickly go in there and delete that. So we need to go into our mod organizer again. So mod organizer. Again, click on the mods folder. And we just need to find the mod Skyrim Realistic Overhaul. And it was in part 2, which is that one there. Again, we have to click on the textures folder. And for this one, it's actually in landscape. Makes sense, eh? And there it is right there. So it's this one here, Dirt Cliffs. Inside of that folder are the 4 textures. We'll just make those a bit bigger so you can see them. They do look pretty good, but I don't think as good as Noble Skyrim's textures for the Dirt Cliffs. So all we're going to do, right click. You can just delete them, but I'll just cut them out of there because I do actually want to hang on to them. Close that down, and we're just going to paste it into SRO Part 2 folder, which I have over here. And they're actually the textures I have deleted out of Skyrim Realistic Overhaul Part 2. So basically the Fieldgrass 02 texture, and also all the river textures, the riverbed edge, the river bottom, and also the river mud, because I think the ones from Noble Skyrim do look better. So far that's all I've got out of that mod. But yeah, as I explore around more, I may see other textures I'm not 100% happy with, and I may want to use the textures from Noble Skyrim. So it'll just be a matter of going into Skyrim Realistic Overhauls mod, finding the actual texture and just deleting it, and then that means Noble Skyrim will take over. Alright, so yeah, that was the mod list so far. And then obviously I ran SSE edit, basically just to clean all those mods, which I do every time I install mods. Yeah, pretty good practice to get into. And then obviously I used Loot to organise my plugins. So we're right to go. So we'll just jump back in game and have a look at some more of those changes and see if we can make our way to Whiterun without getting killed. And here we are back in game. So we'll just have one final look at Riverwood. We probably won't be back for a while. Alright, let's move on. I just need to equip something a little better here. Actually, we'll go Flames in the right hand, Conjure Familiar in the left. See how that works out for us. I'm thinking I'm going to keep the mountain textures as well. I like how they're light grey and they match the original Skyrim. I've always changed up my mountains quite a bit, so it's actually nice to have them just light grey for a change. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping those as they are. And they've obviously been changed by the Skyrim Realistic Overhaul mod because they're a little higher resolution than vanilla. And I'm not getting into Dindulot or anything for a little while yet. I'm going to wait till I've got a larger owl mod list. Where is he? There you are. Yeah, because basically every time I add more mods or change anything around, I've got to rerun Dindulot, so I'm just trying to avoid that for a while. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad off in the distance. I'm just going to quickly check underwater. I haven't actually looked yet. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I feel like I'm losing light too. What time is it? 3:43 PM. Okay, that would be why. Yep, there's the sun getting low. Oh, looks like we have a prisoner up here. And I'm thinking we probably won't try and save him, because I'm pretty sure we'd fail. We're not very strong at the moment, so we'll just let them be. And we'll just quickly check out the white water textures. And yeah, I think they look pretty good. The ones you get with Realistic Water 2 are quite fine, I think. There's not much difference, but I think this mod's just slightly better.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
Oh, will we? Are you sure about that? And you can see the windmills are a little bigger than vanilla Skyrim. That was that extra download when I downloaded the SMIM patch. Well, not the patch, the SMIM mod. You know what I mean. Oh, trouble. And I've killed him. Sorry, not required. Oh, you can see there too, my spells lighting up the environment.
That's taken care of. No thanks to you.
And hello, Ayla. You didn't actually look like you needed help.
Certainly not. But a true warrior would have relished the opportunity to take on a giant. That's why I'm here, with my shield brothers.
What is a shield brother?
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough.
I don't really want to join them just yet, so we'll get out of that.
All right then.
Yeah, so you can see the light being thrown from my spells at the moment. Very cool. Let's see if we can grab anything here. Iron arrows. I can't actually resell those. Oh, value 1. Maybe I can.
Citizen, Imperial business. Be on your way.
Yeah. Oh cool, we've got some aspens just here on the Tundra Plain.
If you know any true sons and daughters
It's a little
of
different.
Skyrim,
I like
tell them
it.
to head to Windhelm. Ulfric Stormcloak wants to see them.
So I'm assuming they're from the Fantasy Forest overhaul. I can sort of tell by the colours. And just looking at the mountains there, I love the colour, but I'm not 100% on the actual texture itself just yet. So I may look for something else, but I'm definitely going to stay with the original grey rock of vanilla Skyrim, because I do like that. I may just find something a little more high res. We'll see. So much to do. There's another thing I have to grab at some stage. Probably ultimate HD fire effects maybe, or something similar.
Come to chat with an old woman, Do your good deed for the day?
Not exactly, no. I was just being polite.
Halt!
Oh,
City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only.
I don't really want to give him 61 gold, because I don't have that much. I have news from Helgen about the dragon attack.
Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Okay. Looks like we get in. Yay. So my plan is to just visit the shops here and sell what I can and buy whatever potions and spells I can. And then we'll probably call it.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
You? What are you? Please, take Mother Mara's blessing to wash this unease away.
What? What are you on about?
Mother guides me to those flickering souls who are yet to cast themselves on the fire for tomorrow's utopia. She sees in you potential which can avert calamity. I, her most devoted servant, need you to believe in the goodness of your heart, in love.
Okay. Stop with the incessant rambling and get to the point.
Forgive her, beloved child of entropy. For all her convictions, she only looks up, blind to those below the clouds which she wishes to ascend. There is a terror of minds and ideas forming in the West. A conciliage of antipathy and repressed hatred is nearing its sum.
Really?
If this horror transpires, then neither the restraints of distance nor time will thwart the canker that will be birthed there. I make this plea to you, special child.
I'm special.
Meditate between the opposites and seek resolution in the chaos. I will help whenever I can, but my light is weak. However, even the faintest flame can act as a beacon against the background of deep night. That flame will appear to you in a maze of dark when you most need it.
Mara, what is this?
There is nothing to decipher. Just take heed of these words. Go west and see. Open those eyes and see that which belies its splendor. Beset by men, gods, kings, and ideas, keep a clear eye. Keep your head above water when you reach that realm. The tides of want can drown any who venture too far from the shore.
Beyond reach. What should I do then? You're still speaking in riddles.
Huh? Sorry. Ugh, my head.
Okay then.
What on Nern? What spell did you cast on her?
What? I'm no mage. I actually am a little bit, but whatever spell it was had affected me as well.
Yes. Yes, I saw.
Yes, you did.
You were mumbling to yourself.
Oh, was I?
Almost word for word that of Jayana.
Really?
Forgive me. Our travels have put me in a hastened mood.
You're forgiven? Your priestess had Mara speaking through her, told me about a place in the west?
Didn't know madness could be contracted. Is this a jest you're both in on?
No. Do I look like I'm jesting? Tell me of this place to the west.
No. It looks like you're serious, which worries me a lot more. The closest I can come to answering your visions is that we had just hailed from Evermore, which may be that west you want. If you're dead set on taking voyage there, then a merchant who has a route between that hinterland kingdom and Skyrim should be resting at Markarth. Word of warning, if you care to listen. The Reach isn't a place you want to risk your neck just on the visions of a zealous priestess.
Okay. Alright. We must remember that next time, or when we get to Markarth. Because that's one of the new mods we have installed, Beyond Reach. And the first order of business there is seek out the merchants, so we'll be definitely doing that at some stage. But at the moment, we've got to discover the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Alright, let's just jump into these shops and see if we can sell anything or buy anything that may be of use to us. Pretty sure this guy's not going to have anything for us.
Hello, friend. In the market for some hunting supplies?
But you never know.
Hagraven or Horker, it matters not. We've got the arrows to fell any game.
So what have you got for sale?
What are you hunting? Never mind. I don't want to know.
Must not buy a bow. As much as I want to, I'm not going to. Yeah, we'll take your lockpick.
Thank you very much for your business.
And that'll be that. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be anything in War Maidens for us. So yeah, I forgot to mention there's not really too many changes to Whiterun just at the moment. Mainly the textures. Obviously having Noble Skyrim installed, that changes I'd say most of the textures in Whiterun. But apart from that, and also the immersive laundry, as you can see there, yeah, not too many other changes. But just those texture changes makes it look pretty good. Oh, actually, we do have the tree, the Gildor tree, so we'll just check that out. And wow, that looks pretty dead. Nice looking bark.
Thinking of settling in?
Can't say the same for the leaves. Okay, we may change that at some stage. Alright, back down to the market before the shops close.
You must be one of those wizards from the college in Riverwood.
Oh cool, I must look like a wizard. Excellent. Alright, Acadia's Cauldron, we should be able to find something here.
I'm sure you'll
find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. You look rather pale. Could be ataxia. It's quite a problem back home in Cyrodiil.
Okay, thanks for the heads up. What have you got for sale?
So you're interested in my potions and ingredients?
Sure am. Alright, what do we have? Ooh, 256 gold. Let's just see if we can sell anything. Okay, the hanging moss is worth nothing. Who would have thought? Okay, we can't sell anything. It's a bit of a shame. I think I better get those. And actually I'll grab the minor magicka potions as well. And we're down to 20 gold, so that'll probably do.
Come back anytime if you need a remedy. Pardon me.
Or if I have
but
gold.
do I detect a case of the rattles? I've got something for that.
Foolish old woman. You know nothing. Nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
Nothing. And what of my son? What of Frollo? Is he nothing?
Heard about you and your honeyed words.
Oh, really? Wow.
Lady, could you spare a coin?
Oh god, hardly. Lucia, come here, I've got something for you. 1 gold.
Oh, thank you. Divines, bless your kind heart.
Okay, that's about all I can afford. So I normally have some sort of sky mod installed for like the night sky and the moons and all the rest of it. But yeah, I'm just thinking how cool the stars actually look as vanilla. Even the moon just poking up there looks alright. I'll probably still...
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of need.
You and me both, buddy. Yeah, I'll probably download some mod to just enhance that a bit. But yeah, it does look pretty good just as vanilla Skyrim. Very impressed. Alright, let's just pop in here for a bit. I'm sort of just checking the lighting more than anything when I go into these interiors. Yeah, I come in peace.
This is no time for
Damn.
action.
What is up with you?
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgrup is not receiving visitors.
Who's this then?
What's the meaning of this sword? I have news from Helgen about the dragon attack.
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
Yeah, can that wait? Sure it can.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of the great warriors?
Well, not exactly. I actually want to buy some things, even though I have no money.
It seems this damnable conflict has claimed everyone's passions of late. Me, I prefer my books and my spells.
Yeah, fair enough. So what have you got for sale?
I had you figured for a mage.
Ah,
I think
cool.
you'll appreciate this.
I must look magish. Alright, so he's got quite a few scrolls and a crap ton of spell tomes. Wow, he's got a lot. A real lot. Okay. I know what I need to do.
You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College in Winterhold.
I need to get money and lots of it. Yep, not doing anything. Be good if you left the room. Because you know what I'm thinking. Okay, if he's going to stay out there. 12 gold. Really? a whole bag of coin and there was only 12 gold in there. Wow, paper's worth 4. Yeah, I'm desperate. Oh no, I took the basket. I really didn't want the basket. Just what was in it. Ooh. Suppose we could just grab all these books and then just sell them back to him. How funny would that be? Can we sell books? Pretty sure we can. Those were worth 8 gold each. That's insane. 6. I hope he's not behind me. Nope. Oh my god, 15 gold. Yes, please. I gotta be so careful here. Oh, he's really busy at the moment. Oh dear. Better get rid of that evidence. That might do actually. Ooh, he's studying the map. Okay, let's see if this guy will buy his books back.
It seems this damnable conflict has claimed everyone's passions of late. Me, I prefer my books and my spells.
Yeah, so you said. Well, it's your lucky day.
I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this.
And I think you'll appreciate this. No, he's not going to buy them. No. Alright. My plan failed.
You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College in Winterhold.
Yes, I'll keep that in mind. And thanks for the reading material. Okay, looks like we're going to have to go to one of the shops and sell them. Hopefully we can sell them there. I'm actually starting to think we can't even sell books. That would be bad. And wow, yeah, it's got pretty dark. Awesome clear night though.
Damn those Grey Mains to oblivion. They want to back the Stormcloaks, they'll get what's coming to them.
You sure use a warm bed right about now?
Oh, you and me both, buddy. And the shop's probably closed now. Let's see how we go. We'll go to the general store. And yep, he's closed. I wonder if Arcadia would buy the books. Let's
Take
just
a good
see.
look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. You look rather pale.
No,
so
I don't.
You're interested in my potions and ingredients?
Not exactly. I want to sell some books to you. Nope.
Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
I think it's going to be the general store or nothing. So, we'll have to wait till morning. So I guess we just go and find a bed for the night.
Want to hear a little Nord wisdom? You don't
Sure.
really know a woman till you've had a strong drink and a fist fight with her.
Okay.
I've got a hungry daughter to feed, so selling my produce is really the only thing I care about.
Alright, the Bannered Mare.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
And I've got a small amount of gold.
If it's I enjoy this work well enough, but I'm ready to retire. I've been thinking of selling the inn to Isolda. Anyway, what do you need?
Well, I'd like to rent a room, please.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Excellent.
I'll show you to your room, right this way.
But then he
Well met, traveler.
all the red when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said, Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed. And so then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Braggart named Ragnar was boastful no
Will do,
more.
thank you.
When his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
What can I get you?
Sorry, I was a bit quick on the door.
We drink to our youth till days come and gone.
Alright, anything we can steal?
Is just about done.
Pot for 5 gold, yes please.
We'll drive out the storm
So have you
cloaks
spoken
and
to that man
restore
from the
what
Bard's
we
College?
own. With our blood and our steel, we
yet.
will take back
But I will.
our home.
I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Down
John,
with
stop
Ulfric,
dallying.
the
You
killer.
know-
Oh wow, there's 8 gold in there. Gotta take it. Take the knife. Yeah, I'll take the wooden bowl.
Have to go.
Kings,
It's
on
why
the
Mara
day
put
of
you on
your
this
death,
earth.
we will drink
You think a
and
few
we'll
miles
sing.
can truly keep us apart?
You mean you won't forget
Children
about
of
me the moment
Skyrim,
I'm out
and
of
we
sight?
fight all our
Get yourself
lives.
a nice old rich
Sovngarde
husband.
beckons,
Have 16
everyone
bait.
Oh, jackpot. Wow. Garnet for 100.
us dies.
Awesome.
You've uncovered my master plan. Now I suppose
But
you'll never
this
leave.
land is ours, and we'll see it
Harlot.
wiped clean.
Let's
of the
just take
scourge
everything.
that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
Alright. Well, we have been busy tonight. Oh, hello. I wasn't doing anything.
Lucky for you, that was just sitting there for the taking.
Oh, what? What the hell? How did you see me? Wow. Oh, that was worth 0. I shouldn't have taken that. Oh, cabbage. Alright, I think that'll do. Our
This is a
pockets
local favorite
would
and
well and truly be full
first
right now.
songs I ever learned.
Alright, so I think we'll
Ragnar the Red.
sleep for the night and get up
Once was a
early
hero
and
named
continue
Ragnar the Red, who came
our
riding to
adventures.
Whiterun from old Rorik's stead.
So, that will be the end of part 2. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your support, as always. And we'll catch you guys in part 3. Cheers.
But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said,